What's up, Airsoft World? Maggiore here to talk to you about SB199 again. Miss me? We're 2 days away from SB199 going into effect in California, and a lot of people are wondering, what exactly does that mean for us? In order to understand SB199 the way it's written, we first need to look at the current law that's on the books. But before I do that, allow me to take a second to make myself look a little bit more credible and a bit smarter. That's better. Existing law states that it is illegal to sell a BB device to a minor. Existing law also prohibits anyone from purchasing, selling, manufacturing, shipping, transporting, distributing, or receiving an imitation firearm. Existing law excludes all BB devices from the definition of imitation firearm for these purposes. Now, beginning on January 1st, 2016, SB 199 deletes the 6mm restriction from the definition of a BB device. By including a device that expels a pellet that exceeds 6mm in caliber within the definition of a BB device, this bill expands the scope of existing crimes and imposes a state-mandated local program. The bill also changes current law to state that BB devices must meet certain coloration standards. So what are these coloration requirements that we're talking about? For the sake of argument in this video right now, on the 1st of January, the changes you need to make to your guns are not particularly complicated. For starters, if you have a handgun, it looks a lot like this guy, right? We can see, looks real, black, scary, ooh, okay? Your handgun now, in addition to the blaze orange tip, which is required by federal law for transportation, note, you also have to have a 2cm band that goes around the circumference of the pistol grip in a fluorescent color, and you also must paint your trigger guard in its entirety in the same fluorescent color, or a fluorescent color if you want to get fun and do some like 80s, neon colors. Now what about rifles? We've already established this guy's no longer legal, so bye-bye. Now if you're thinking, oh cool, well I've already painted my gun this awesome tactical milsim color, so I'm exempt, right? No, unfortunately not. What are you required to do for these bad boys? Well, pretty simple again. Blaze orange tip, still required. Here, you also have to paint your trigger guard entirely in a fluorescent color, and then there are 3 other options that have to have some kind of fluorescent paint on them. Your buttstock, your pistol grip, or your magazine. 2 out of those 3 must have at least a 2cm wide adhesive band with fluorescent coloring around the circumference of those items. So what are the takeaways from all this? Really? They're not that different from what we currently have to do anyway. First, make sure that your orange tip is on your gun, especially when you're transporting it. 2, make sure that you have those fluorescent bits on your guns. That means, again, on a handgun, it's going to be the trigger guard, and also that 2cm band around the pistol grip. On a rifle, it's going to either be on the magazine, right, somewhere obvious. It's going to have to be either on the buttstock of said rifle, and then also either on the pistol grip or the magazine. You got to have 2 out of 3, and make sure that your trigger guard is also painted. So at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world. We don't have to paint our airsoft guns like this. We can go still run around and play with them in controlled environments, specifically sanctioned fields. And really, it shouldn't affect the sport that much. Now, just because these laws aren't terrible for us and aren't going to ruin the hobby in and of itself, it doesn't mean that we can give up and stop trying to fight any further encroachment in the hobby. Make sure that you pay attention to your local laws, act with respect for both law enforcement and game officials when you're at a field, and just please, for the love of God, don't be stupid. I'll break character for a second here and stop trying to be professional. People, don't be dumb. It's really not that complicated for us to keep ourselves and our hobby out of trouble. So, when you're transporting, selling, purchasing, or essentially doing anything with an airsoft gun in California other than playing at a sanctioned field, make sure you have it compliant with the state laws. So remember guys, make sure that your guns are kept in a safe place, out of the public view, and locked away when not in use. Don't play with them in public. And please, for the love of God, be smart about what you do and how you use your guns. These don't look like toys, and let's keep it that way. Thanks for watching, and I promise you that my next video will be a little bit more entertaining and hopefully more fun to watch than this. Cheers.